Boom. This is Scot Pekarek, and you're on Tumor Tales. Sorry, I had to wear my mask today. Um, I didn't know I looked so good in a mask until just now. But anyway, sorry, I have not done a video in quite some time, and sorry, I'm getting some feedback here. Apparently, I've got YouTube up on a browser, and I was getting the Scott latency effect here. But I do wanna keep the browser up because, as I said, it's been a while since I've done a video, and I apologize. I know that I was on a roll there. I was doing like one a day, and I know that was probably a little getting a little annoying, but I've got a gift, and if there's no other gift I have, it's to be annoying. So, how's everyone doing? I am doing great. I've been a little bit low energy the last couple of weeks. I don't know what the hell it is. If it's, I really think there's a psychological impact of this lockdown that is really starting to wear on me, and I don't know if it's, um, you know, I'm a very social person. If those of you who have got to know me know I'm very outspoken, and I'm not one to run from a controversy. And the good news is that I've noticed that this is beginning to attract some trolls to the channel. And if there's nothing I like more than to antagonize the internet troll and get them to put negative comments on anything I post, really. And you always know that you've done something when the trolls start posting negative stuff. So anyway, I'm proud to welcome the trolls to the channel, and just letting you know you're not gonna shut us down with negativity. In fact, I think I'm like who was the guy Superman fought? Uh, I think his name was Doomsday. And the thing with Doomsday was he absorbed kinetic energy and only got stronger. And I think that I'm one of those people who absorbs the troll attacks, and it only makes me healthier and stronger. So, different format today than I do a lot of days. This is from the podcast laboratory here in the bunker, and I think someone is actually mowing the lawn outside my window. The timing is perfect for this. But anyway, just wanted to give everyone an update. I'm doing great. I have not had a MRI since December 17th, I believe, 2019. And I am not planning to have an MRI anytime soon. Why, you ask? Well, MRIs are for sick people, and I do not feel sick right now, and I don't act sick. But no, more importantly, we had something scheduled for March, and then the whole COVID thing happened, and I said, what, screw it, we're not going to do it. I actually talked to someone at the hospital today. They were trying to schedule something for me to come in, and I thought a good time to have an MRI would be August 17th or 18th, which is the 1 year anniversary of them finding the tumor in Laguna Beach, California. As you know, I'm nowhere near Laguna Beach today. Carl, boom, baby. Yeah, you're feeling tired too. It's the lockdown. It's not being able to get out. It's the forced change in our activity, the social interactions that, frankly, I love. And I know we try to recreate community here on Zoom and stuff, and on YouTube, but boy, there's nothing like being in a busy room with a bunch of people, and whether it's court or the DMV or a restaurant, right? It's that social interaction you get. One thing I want to talk about today is Fenbendazole. Those of you that are fans of Fenbendazole, I am still taking it. I took about a month off, and the reason I did was to just kind of give my system a little break. I know that you can develop with a lot of things I want to say dependency, but it's not a dependency. It's and not an immunity, but resistance, I guess. Your body kind of develops, over time. It's kind of like the story of the woman who wanted to kill her husband, so she started taking a little bit of cyanide uh, every day and built up her tolerance for, there you go. You build up a tolerance. Thank you. It's the word I was looking for, but she built up a tolerance for cyanide, and then added some to the soup or the broth that she and her husband ate one night, and she gave it to him, and this would normally have been a lethal dose for her too. But she had built up a tolerance and a resistance to it, and ended up killing him. And for a while, it threw off the investigators, but they realized what she had done was she had built up a tolerance for it, or a resistance to it, and then administered the lethal dose, thinking no one would suspect it. Kind of like the iocane powder in The Princess Bride for those movie buffs and nerds out there like me. So anyway, I am taking fenbendazole again. I'm on the cycle, doing the apricot seeds, the B17. I have been not quite as strict, the 20 carbs a day, 25 carbs a day that I had been on. That I've changed. I won't say I slipped, but I'm probably closer to 40 or 50 some days now. I'm just not of the belief that my brain tumor is necessarily I don't know, impacted as much by the 20 day. I mean, most days I try to stay 20 or under, but there are some days where I admittedly I go over. So B17, I've been taking CBD, THC oil. The fenbendazole I'm taking is it's sometimes Panacor C, sometimes it's the Safeguard. Sometimes I'll take the 40-pound dog packet, sometimes I'll take the 10. And I know that that's not probably as scientific and as rigid as some people would like. Thanks, Carl. Tolerance. Yeah. But that's what I'm doing. And I have also, I don't like to smoke pot. So I take the oils, the CBD and the THC oils. I take the quad, CBD, CBDA, THC, and THCA. That is something that was recommended to me. I was doing some Rife machine and did that for several months, taking a break from that. I did not buy a Rife machine. You can get those. Spooky 2 is a website. There's a story behind that name, Spooky 2. I will encourage you to look it up. I think Einstein actually was the one who came up with it. I do want to talk a little bit about COVID today, COVID-19. I am absolutely sick of the lockdown. I've had it. I know that, there's a false dichotomy out there right now where people say that you are either, if you're against, quarantine at home from here till the end of time, that you want to kill your grandmother and your parents. That, they're two separate issues, I think, for some people. But no, I mean, my parents are elderly. I know a lot of people who have cancer and other chronic illnesses who have undergone treatments that may have compromised their immune systems. And I reject this idea that, if you don't support lockdowns in perpetuity, that you hate other people and want them to die and you don't care about health. Like that, it is so lazy and so insulting for people to take that kind of position. I think it just it rejects science. It rejects common sense. It rejects and what it does is it exposes a level of ignorance that or laziness, that isn't becoming of a logical and rational debate about what's the appropriate level of social distancing, lockdowns, whatever. There's a lot of, there are a lot of vulnerable people out there, and I'm 100% in favor of protecting those people. Those include my parents. Those include a lot of my friends, relatives, acquaintances, and hell, it even includes a lot of people I don't like. Okay, and I want them protected too. So the trolls out there, yep, I care about you too. You're what helps drive me. But you should be protected too. And I think that people who just say, well, either you're for health or against health, and if you're not for lockdowns in perpetuity, you don't care about people. I absolutely care about people. It's because I care about people, and I'm seeing a lot of people who are, in Minnesota here, one of our essential services is alcohol. Liquor stores were allowed to stay open through the pandemic. And do I have a vendetta against liquor? No. I happen to like liquor a lot, too much, in fact. That's why I had to quit drinking for several months, because I was allowing, liquor was doing weird stuff with me, probably because of the fasting and, having maybe the wrong mindset. I was carrying a lot of anger and fear. I think that not so much anger, but fear and frustration post cancer diagnosis. And when I'd be fasting and I'd have a few drinks, I'd black out. Like, it was just bizarre, like the craziest thing ever. And things were just I was not who I wanted to be at that time. So I quit drinking. But I have nothing against alcohol, but I do think that you do get a little hey, Nina, how you doing? Nina from Colorado, miss you guys. Sorry for the delay, the long wait. A long time between postings, but alcohol wasn't working for me. All right. And I realized that it wasn't necessarily alcohol. It was what I was carrying around inside me that was the problem. But alcohol was like having it manifest itself in very destructive ways. So get back to the point. The point is this. The point is that I know a lot of people who are, resorting to alcohol, resorting to drugs, resorting to ways to sedate themselves right now because they're very stressed out. A lot of people living in fear. There's a lot of anxiety right now, which is an immune system, will compromise your immune system. And I'm of the belief that the first and best line of defense against the coronavirus or any airborne pathogen or pathogens that are in our environment is your immune system. And you should be doing things that that can boost your immune system. A lot of that, it starts with your gut. People say 70% of our immune system starts in the gut. So probiotics, prebiotics, antioxidants, things that and again, I can't get into all of them right now, but things that naturally boost your immune system provide your best defense right now. There is not a vaccination for this. There won't be a vaccination anytime soon. I won't get into my conspiracy theories as to why some of the things are going on right now, but I will say there are characters out there who probably have less than noble designs and goals for what's going on. And there's always people who try to benefit personally from crises. So, but anyway, the idea that you have to be for lockdowns of perpetuity or you're against healthcare, I reject wholeheartedly. I believe folks get out there, boost your immune system, try to reduce your stress, use meditation, get some exercise, get outside and get some sunlight, some vitamin D, baby. The best way is to get some sun, get some fresh air, get out of your apartment, get out of your homes, get out there and get some exercise. Invite a friend for a walk at an acceptable, social distance from that person. Go help somebody else out who needs the help right now. Go deliver some meals for some people, whatever you can to increase your own ability to fight this off, because hey, Leslie from Wales. Nice. But whatever you can do to build your own natural defense here, because look, we're not getting a vaccination anytime soon. There, the therapeutics that are out there, there are some that show promise. I'm disturbed, to be frank, with the amount of censorship that's going on right now on the different social media platforms. Even if I don't agree with what people are saying, I live in the United States of America, and the ground has been saturated with blood spilled worldwide. People who have protected our First Amendment rights, which is the right to have an opinion, and even especially if it's one I don't agree with, I believe you have a right to say it. And that's why I welcome the trolls to my channel. They may think that I'm a buffoon. That's all right. You have a right to that opinion. In fact, some of the feedback is is helpful. So, the for many of you, if you've been watching for a while, I had a well-documented Facebook video I posted last August, right the week before the tumor was discovered. And I had like nose hairs that had been like, it looked like I was growing a hedge there. And I posted the video and I got a bunch of people just shredding me for my nose hairs and, calling me all kinds of other, just horrible names. So instead of taking the video down, I boosted it. I put like $100 on it and I boosted it to go nationwide. And I got just like great material for like future podcasts, people saying I was on meth, that I looked like I just snorted lines off hookers and stuff. And it was just, yeah, it was just brutal. I just took a thrashing, but it was also hilarious. So anyway, the censorship right now that we're seeing on some channels is kind of disturbing. I don't like it. I don't like it when people who have different opinions, different points of view, we should really, really, really embrace that. So, what else am I doing? What else am I up to? Fulvic acid, taking the fulvic. Gosh, I take so many different supplements and I try to cycle them out. And I keep saying that I'm going to do videos on different things and why I take it and why I quit taking it. And I will get to that. So I promise you, I've actually had to work a little bit the last few weeks. So I've been really busy with my, I'm in real estate, as many of you know, and we've been incredibly busy in spite of the virus. So, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining. Trust me. I'm fortunate enough to be in an industry that isn't impacted by this, but we are still, our company is still very busy, and I'm thankful for that. So, let's see. Okay, so Crash. Okay, so good. Thank you. My niece and her fiance both have the virus, both sick and heck. And any advice? Okay, so anything that, and I'm gonna make a broad answer here, but and everybody else who's listening, put it in the comments. But different, anything that's an immune booster, right? Like berries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin C, magnesium. Oh gosh, I'm going to leave out so much, and I'm sorry. I'll think of some other stuff, but cruciferous vegetables, like anything that has antioxidants. I take colloidal silver. Colloidal silver. Is that, God, I always say that word wrong. I'm sorry. There's certain words I just say wrong all the time, but I think that's how you say it. I know it makes me sound like an ignoramus, but I did grow up on a dairy farm, so there's my excuse. Oh my gosh, anybody else listening? For Crash, there's anything that garlic. Oh my God, garlic. I almost got curcumin, or turmeric, and curcumin, which is what's in turmeric. For sure, take the turmeric. I put turmeric on everything. I put turmeric on absolutely everything. My eggs, I put it on my broccoli. I put it on, heck, I put it on meats. I don't put it in my, I use different, I don't put it on my berries. So there's it, but for sure get the garlic and the turmeric, ginger root, make, a berry smoothie. A lot of people juicing, beet juice, anything that, again, just Google natural immune boosting foods, and you're going to get a ton of stuff. And I don't know that you can OD on these things. I take so much of it that, like, I literally have not been sick. In fact, in February, I was in Florida, and my jaw, underneath my jaw here, swelled up the size of a damn orange, or it was crazy. And I went to Whole Foods, paid an arm and a leg, but I got a bunch of berries, a bunch of like, D3 and zinc. Thanks, Carl. So, but keep posting, people. But I got a bunch of antioxidants, and oh God, what was the what pills did I take? Oh, damn it. Sorry. I'll try to put something in the comments if I think of it, but everyone else. So Arpel, yeah, you said you're allergic to vaccines. Yeah. So vaccines, they've got metal in them. You're right. The egg content. There's also, there's also, oh crap. There's a reason that people are getting autism from vaccines, and it's never really been explained to me, but I watched a whole documentary on it, and it's because of the metals and some of the other things that are put into vaccines. One is to increase the yield when they're producing the vaccine, and others as I believe as a stabilizing agent. So yeah, so you have to be careful with the vaccines. You can ask for vaccine a version of the vaccine. I believe some vaccines have versions that don't have that, but don't quote me on that. I've never actually asked a healthcare professional, in person that question, or someone who would be honest. So, yeah, little Viking coach, boom, indeed. Carl, your today crash. I've upped my garlic after watching. Yeah, garlic. In fact, there's a guy, James McCraw has he has a Facebook page who he wrote a couple books, killing cancer with spices and attacking cancer stem cells. It's something like that. I bought both books from the guy. Glioblastoma Multiforme grade 4. He was basically death sentence, kind of like a lot of people talk about Joe Tippins because he has the blog with the Fenbendazole, but James McCraw should also be read. He talks about turmeric and garlic, black seed oil. He takes black seed oil. I started taking that. It's so damn gross that you will never want to actually drink the stuff, but I do it. But he's got a whole Facebook page where he talks about what he's doing. So check it out for sure. He's still pretty active on it, I believe. Yeah. And then, little Viking coach. Yeah. If you guys are loving this, hit the thumbs up. If you're liking the video, share it with your friends, subscribe, somewhere down here. And if you want to know when we launch a new video, hit the bell button and that'll let you know. I don't know if people prefer the live version or the recorded, but I'll do both. Garlic Formula 103 immune booster. Okay, awesome. That's great. Anything else? So, what else? I do got to get going here pretty quick. I'm in the bunker today, flyover country, and my wife's probably needing a break. She's been homeschooling the kids, and I'll give her credit. I didn't think she'd do as good a job as she is. I guess I should have known she was, but it was kind of a different role for her, and she's doing a good job. And the kids are fine, but before this whole lockdown started, there were a couple kids in the neighborhood that they hung out with every day. And we've allowed them to continue to do that. Number one, they are like absolutely, the risk to them is infinitesimally small, but also I believe it's healthy for them to play, and it's good for their spirit, which also boosts their immune system, which their risk of, the mortality rate with, kids under 18 is infinitesimally small from COVID-19, but also, if they're happy and healthy and eating well and laughing and stuff, I believe that also reduce the risk of them catching the virus, or helps them fight it off when they do get it, because laughter and happiness boosts your immune system. Like there's science behind that. So anyway, that's all I got for today. I could go on and on and on, but then everyone would probably gouge their eyeballs out and pour hot wax in their ears to get me to shut up. So I appreciate everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Keep asking questions. Don't let the media, the government, or anybody else, tell you what to think, or even the mob, the neighbors, think on your, I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to an alternate point of view. Absolutely do that. But don't let people silence your voice because they don't agree with what you're saying by making, insane, weak arguments like, don't you believe in science, or trying to force a false dichotomy on you that says, if you're not for lockdowns till 2030, then you hate your grandparents, right? Just don't respectfully just tell them, well, that's not true. But I have a quote I got to read from Carl Sagan. You guys know Carl Sagan. If there ever was a guy who was a science guy, I think Carl Sagan qualifies. He says this: one of the saddest lessons of history is this: if we've been bamboozled long enough, we tend to reject any evidence of the bamboozle. We're no longer interested in finding out the truth. The bamboozle has captured us. It's simply too painful to acknowledge, even to ourselves, that we've been taken. Once you give a charlatan power over you, you almost never get it back. So I want you to ponder that one today. Think about it. Are you being bamboozled? And who is trying to bamboozle you in your life? And have the strength to acknowledge it and fight back. With that, thank you all. Boom! I'm out of here, and I appreciate every one of you guys. Have a great week.